And
Is Seema there? Oh,
yes,
there he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Hey, well, welcome. Oh, well, I guess we gotta. Yeah, it's being recorded. Welcome to the late night chat, the effort and grace version of it. And hope you've done your studies and everything. No,
How
I'm
was
just
your
joking.
week off?
I want to know,
It was good. Oh boy, was I tired. Unbelievable.
where did you go?
Out on the west coast of British Columbia,
Where I used to live up that way. Where?
on a little island between Vancouver, the city, and Vancouver Island,
Which
Galiano Island, huh?
oh, Galiano. I used to live on one of those too.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
Hornby.
they beautiful
Oh my, it is
places.
beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, if Christina comes on, I don't know if she will, but it's her birthday,
Oh,
Christina Ramsden. So if she comes on, we'll just sing. Everybody just sing happy birthday right off to her. She'll she'll wonder what the heck's happening, but maybe she's out celebrating her birthday. Yeah. Well, Jacima, if you will put that email up, and if we can get whoever is the one who chooses the readers. Wow. Yeah, there we are. Yeah.
Deborah, do you want to read? Deborah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Okay. Is it August 10th already?
It is.
Wow. The topic, Baba's inspiring intervention. Dear folks of Baba, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. These are the insightful words of Teilhard de Chardin, a Catholic, Jesuit, theologian, and philosopher who lived during the first half of the last century. Even though Baba encourages us to be in the world and live a natural life, to be natural is most godly, it is important not to lose sight of the fact that in essence, we are spirit. It is Baba, through our spirit, who is inspiring us to sublimate our age-old selfish reactions to life and cultivate instead our divinely human qualities, our better angels. In the process, we enjoy Baba's personal companionship, as Darwin describes it. He is our best friend, and not only our best friend, but also our ally, working with each one of us. He has consummate understanding and insight into the sanskaras of each individual, and he really does work within us to expedite our freedom of consciousness. Darwin was always encouraging us to go for broke, quote, to accept and believe in the highest possibility in this incarnation, end quote, with Baba. Don't think the journey will take forever. And if our longing is to be with Baba next time he comes, we have the opportunity to work now toward providing a clear consciousness for his use. I once asked Darwin, quote, what is the biggest mistake Baba lovers are making, end quote. He replied without a trace of criticalness, they think of themselves as small, and they remain small. Think big. Think outside even the conventional spiritual box. In being inwardly more inclusive of all of life, all the different and whimsical inhabitants of this planet, our heart expands, and we begin over time to feel ourselves merge as Darwin would express it, with all of life. We move out of our ages-old subjective bubble and experience others as they experience themselves. In his latter years, Darwin described his experience as one where, quote, you live in and through everyone, end quote. Erich used to remark from time to time in Maudsley Hall, this whole world is yours, but you have to claim it. Through love, you bring what is outside inside. He was implying that it is Baba's inclusive love that can become ultimately ours. To give an example, if we become an avid bird watcher and we learn the names of all the birds in our area, their feeding habits, their migratory patterns, how they care for their young, following all this with our binoculars, over time, the birds begin flying inside of us. We've incorporated them into our own being. Our heart expands. Just think if we did that for all of humanity. What strong likes and dislikes in yourself do you feel get in the way of the inclusiveness of your heart? What traits in others that you react to have you seen in yourself? To love one soul is like adding its life to your own. Your life is, as it were, multiplied, and you virtually live in two centers. If you love the whole world, you vicariously live in the whole world. Meher Baba. In his love, Jeff. P.S. We continue on page 16. New passcode, Gracie.
Thank you, Deborah. Beautiful. And does anybody anything to say to that? Any? There
I
were
have
those
something.
last two questions, but anything to say to that?
I have something that
Yeah.
Bobby said. I made a little tune for it. It's just a short
Hey,
little thing.
just a second, Ronnie. I think you're a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This is not working. I'm not muted. All right, let's see. How about now? No, this is.
It's getting a little better. Do you have a volume on your speakers?
I don't know what I've got here. This is
Okay.
a crazy setup. How about now? Is this good enough?
No, too
Well,
low.
No.
still low.
All right, let's see here. How about now?
Better.
Better.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, so what Baba said was, don't let little things disturb you. Don't let little things disturb you. Rise above them, be big, be generous, and leave the rest to me.
Okay.
See, pretty short.
Sing it again. But it's
Don't,
amazing. Bobby used the word big.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is it and
That's
a
what
capital
I meant.
B-I-G, right? Is it
Huh?
capital B-I-G?
I don't know. I can't
Okay.
remember if it was capitalized.
Yeah.
But he said, don't let little things disturb you. Don't let little things disturb you. Rise above them, be big, be generous, and leave the rest to me. But it also reminds me of a writer that Baba turned me on to named Richard Carlson, who wrote a series of books called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Mm.
And it's all small stuff.
Yes. It's all in the world of time and space. Well, now, anyone else have anything to say to that before we begin?
Alan
I
has his,
do.
Yeah.
Alan?
Yeah. Is it Shaw?
Hi.
But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was always called by my middle name, but during COVID, I started to use Allen because everything
Okay.
was getting the way it was getting. So I don't care either one. if I ever do something, maybe my stage name will be Allan Shaw.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically, I think when you do something big, you better make sure your intention is to lift everybody up. The sad thing is, sometimes it can take people a while to get it. But if you know the truth, you're patient. But the thing about the truth is, it's not the whole truth if it doesn't have love. This is what Baba shows us.
Yeah.
Real truth is combined with love, and the purer the love, the better. So the purer the truth in love, the better. And when you have that level, you have the mirrors of the world. And um, sometimes, the Sallys of the world and the mirrors of the world can see your heart when other people are still stuck in the mind part. And the mind part doesn't hold the truth with love. So you got to be patient. So I did what Darwin said in 1991. I followed the truth with love, but it was such a big situation that it's taken 34 years for people to get to the point where they could really get it. And I think we are at that point. So that's pretty cool. And I think that when you get to that point of telling the whole truth with love, you got to make sure, once again, that everybody gets it. So everybody is lifted up, especially the people that are exposed, most importantly, because they've actually suffered the most. Yeah. And that's the whole truth with love.
Thank you, Shaw.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Shaw
Yeah,
Allen
I know it's
Butler.
been about
Yeah.
time, right? It's taken
Yeah.
a long time to learn how to get there. And the
Yeah.
last thing to say about that is in the process, you grow. You
Yeah.
grow so much, you think that you can be like the one who you think you were in your past life and actually lead the black race again and straighten out this mess by telling the whole truth with love. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just you watch.
Keep
And
it
I
up.
died. Died 80 miles down the road from the center in the Civil War doing just that. A rich young kid who was just a C student. And the only thing I tested for high in this life was leading a charge. But being a regular Joe and knowing all this high stuff, I could communicate it to other regular Joes. Yeah. So I'm very powerful. But, in the love, of course. And
Beautiful.
I don't have any money left, so I don't have a retirement plan. So if I die doing it again, no
Is that
problem.
background
I'll
noise
die with so much love in my heart. That's my story. Amen. Don't interrupt, Terry.
Can everybody mute, please? There's background noise going on. Thank you. Thanks, Allan Shaw Butler, Shaw Allan Butler. Okay, Jeff, what's next?
Jeff, you're muted.
You're muted, Jeff.
Anyone want to jump in and say anything else, or we'll go on to page 16?
Did you say something about Christina?
Yeah, has she shown
She
up?
just came up right. She just
Okay.
showed up right now.
Happy birthday to you.
you.
Happy
birthday
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christina. Happy birthday to you.
anymore.
Thank
Yes.
you, J Baba. How
Yeah.
did you find out? Oh my gosh.
It was all over the internet.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
saw it was in the New York Times, all over the place.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get around.
I guess
Okay.
so.
So, so shall we start? Who wants to start out reading? If Jacima, if you can bring that up.
Christina, do you want to read? Christina, would you like to read on your birthday or not?
Sure.
Okay. The light of grace.
The light of grace. A great many ambient factors are involved in the withdrawal of consciousness from the dual realm, and it would be impossible to mention all of them. However, one of the most important factors is the grace of the Master. Divine grace is a power or force of light that can dispel even altogether can dispel and even altogether eliminate ignorance or falsehood. It can dissolve darkness, erroneous thoughts, and complexes within one's consciousness. Sometimes we have to direct the light of grace into various areas within our own hearts. In other words, at the subjective level. By this I mean that instead of assuming that grace will take care of everything, we are actively accepting the intervention of divine grace as a great light that will dispel the darkness within us. If one is conscious of the heart center, then one hopefully has enough inner vision to realize where one needs help. And one can oversee, to a certain extent, the working of grace in helping one's own heart center by shining the light of truth on it. It is like directing a light onto a particular dark spot, which then makes it light. However, it is difficult to generalize because as individuals, we have our own individual dark and light spots, and they are not all the same. The Master reveals to us as individuals where we can clean out our Aegean stables, a little here, a little there. It is in his own way, he reveals where our mistaken analysis and judgment have led us to wrong conclusions. At least that has been my experience. I find that when I feel a surging force, the energy of divine grace, I am able to direct it where it is needed the most. It is like a continuous gift, but it needs direction in order to counteract specific limitations and bindings.
Jeff, you're on mute.
Jeff, you're muted.
One have anything to say to that?
Candy.
Yeah.
I kind of like the image of cleaning out the Augean stables. Everybody
Yeah.
knows about Hercules. That was one of his labors.
Yeah.
And what he did was he directed the Augean stables were so horrific that he changed the direction of a river, and it poured through the Augean stables, cleaning them out. So I like to think of that as Baba's love, pouring through like a great river, cleaning out everything. Just an image that I have in my mind. That's all.
Yeah.
It was brought about by the Augean stable reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and it's good that you explained that too, because not everybody read the classics. Yeah, I mean, Darwin would say when you've, and it's been my practice, when you find yourself in an expansive state, rather than just indulging in the experience, in that expansive state, you can find your hang-ups and problems and sharpnesses and your negativity and send softening love to those things. I mean, you can do a lot of work on certain complexes that when in that state, sometimes it's better than when you're in the complex. You know, like Einstein used to say, no problem can be solved with the same consciousness that went into creating it.
Yeah.
So that wider consciousness, it makes it easier to deal with these things rather than deal with the problem when you're right in in the midst of it. Yeah.
Yes, Ron.
I just want to comment on the raging river cleaning out the stable. It reminded me of
A little louder, Ron.
an,
Just speak louder into the mic.
it reminded me of
Yeah.
a anecdote that I heard. It might have been when I was in Mahabaleshwar, because it was in Mahabaleshwar where Baba was standing, perhaps on Arthur's seat.
Right there,
And,
Deborah. Deborah's right there. She's got Arthur's seat right behind her.
Yeah, there you go. Anyhow,
Oh.
Baba was pointing down at the bottom of that place, pointing out that there were, I think, 5 different rivers that
Yeah.
started there and went different places in India. One of the rivers became this really majestic river that everybody thought was just the greatest and most holy and beautiful river. And it went for 1,000 miles through India. But then Baba looked at this one river and he said, now that river right there, that one goes straight to Bombay. And it's a very short distance. And it's just a small little river. And it doesn't look very majestic or anything. And most people just throw their garbage in it, but the thing about it is it rushes quickly to the source, to the ocean. And that's the avataric path. And so in this rushing river, the things that settle to the bottom get churned up and rise to the top, and it makes the river look pretty nasty. And but it does take it out and direct it right to the ocean.
Yeah, beautiful. Panchgani. What Panch means 5. So five rivers. Yeah.
I have a point.
Yeah.
I read this last week, and I was wondering about sometimes we have to direct the light of grace into various areas within our heart. Okay, that's one thing. And then I put a question mark, like, how do I know how to direct grace into what area? And then the second point, if one is conscious of the heart center, then one hopefully has enough inner vision to realize when one needs help. Well, how do I have inner vision if it's in my subconscious? So I decided to call Gohair and ask her what she thought.
Oh, what a mistake. Oh my God.
No, I really was thinking, I mean, how do I know how to do all this work if it's from the subconscious? And I live that grace is everything and always coming, okay? Always here. Baba's grace is always here. And Gohair really helped a lot. So I'm hoping she might share that with everyone in case anyone else, has that question. Gohair, would you?
Okay, so how did I explain it to you, Marta?
You explained it to me, I think, that you said, give it to Baba and remember him.
That's pure and simple. No, nothing too complicated here. So if you know the area where you need help, say, Baba, I give it to you. That's it. Period. End of story. That's how you direct his grace.
And that expansiveness is not necessarily in the subconscious. That can be right there in your conscious.
In your conscious, right?
Yeah.
In your...
So that you have you can direct these things, and wash away some of the impressions that constitute the complex. You're not going to get it all at once, but you're gradually erode away some of these things.
Thanks, Gohair.
So I didn't do too badly, did I, Jeff?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, the fastest way, and Darwin's whole book is about giving these things energetically to Baba, because you're giving your impressions to the one who is impressionless. They
Exactly.
automatically dissolve. You know, that's the fastest way. And then there's the kind of psychological, spiritual work way that's a little slower, but sometimes that's what we're aware of, and we may not be able to get Baba's presence strong enough to do that. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, Candy.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say one quick thing is that I'm also not only giving my difficult aspects to Bob, I'm also giving him my good things.
Excellent. Yeah. Darwin surprised us one day when we were quite young. He would say, even the good takes up space. Love is the only thing that doesn't take up space. We were very surprised being young. What do you mean? You want to give your good to Bob? It takes up space. But love doesn't take love displaces nothing. And Baba is that, yeah.
Yes, Jim. Hi.
Hello, 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 hello. Yes, well, the other thing that that I find, I mentioned this before, I think actually, but is that recognizing that, and as Baba says, when I have something that maybe I'm feeling struggling, going through something, and it could be a positive thing as well. It doesn't matter. It can be both positive or negative. Is to remember is, and I say this to Baba, I say this, that I entrust all this to you, Baba, and that I remind myself by saying that you are the only doer, Baba. You are the only doer. Only you exist. And when been saying that, it there's a sense of it's beyond it's his. It's all his. I mean, he is the doer. He's the only doer, and he is the only one who exists. And so it's a very liberating kind of awareness when I remind myself of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And for that to become more real, not just an exercise, but you
Yeah,
get,
no, yeah.
yeah,
Well, even
yeah,
even just in that moment,
yeah,
it resonates. It resonates, and it would be great if it was become a permanent resident, as you say, make it more real. That's great. But even if it only even for that few minutes, in that moment, it's real.
yeah. Excellent. Yeah,
You say it's a practice. It's the more you do it, I think probably I would assume. I'd like to think that the more I do it, the more it'll become natural.
yeah. Beautiful.
Like Eric said, pretend that you love Baba until you do. Pretend,
Yeah.
to do this until
Kid yourself. Yeah. Until
kid yourself. That's it. Kid
there's a
yourself.
beautiful line from Rumi where he says, "He who brought me here will have to take me home. He who brought me here will have to take me home." What a all in one line.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to
Okay.
say one thing in clarification, um, to actually do this, to actually take the lessons that are being learned in the center, because we know that the center is a working model for the world, and we know that America is destined to do something great for the world. But we know we also have to get our act together. And so, in getting the act together, we know the most important part of this equation is love, telling the truth and love. And then the higher the love, the purer the love, the better. So, really, this is a spiritual battle. We really want this to be a truly spiritual battle as opposed to, a bloodbath. So
Yeah.
that will be the trick. If we can actually raise consciousness to that level, and I think it needs to start with music, and it needs to start with films, and this kind of thing, and it needs to start with a lot of one-on-one, neighbor to neighbor, and all this sort of thing. All I know is when I was in Miami for 5 years, if I wanted to talk to somebody, I knew if I made the effort to talk to an African American, I never would be turned away. If I wanted to talk to somebody else, a Hispanic person, there was probably a pretty good chance. But as far as other people go, they were in fear. So what I had to do is use my intuition. And I would sight someone from 100 or 200 feet away. And then I would use my intuition. And then my heart would come up with something that they could hear by the time they got to me. You know, I would have to do that sort of thing. So in order to raise the love, one of the places I would start would be in the clubs. And in the clubs, everybody's in the club. But when you start to dance in divine energy and you move from one part of the club to another, people start to feel it. And all of a sudden, you have a bonfire of divine energy going in the club. And one time, it went on like this for 2 nights. And then on the third night, they threw me out because they had lost control of their club, you know? So I noticed in Miami, it's so superficial there on some levels. It's so hungry for love. It's so hungry for answers. You can light that place on fire like a dry forest. It's amazing. That's
Thank
all
you,
I gotta say.
Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. Tony, do you want to read?
Let's see. Jay Sema.
Tony?
I'm here.
Oh, you want to read?
I can read if it's on the screen.
Oh, yeah, she's bringing it up. Thank you.
Okay, love through grace.
Uh-huh.
It is the Master's inestimable great gift of grace, when we are aware of it, that inspires our own love for him more and more. And this awakens more insight, intuition, and inner level awareness, and even awakens us to the prospect of actually merging by degrees with his consciousness. But our love for him should be without wanting and without bargaining. We love him just because he is most lovable.
Mm.
His loving force of grace is an essential part of our inner awareness, and we are being sustained by grace. As individuals, we will find salvation through grace, not through our merits. And thereby, as we clear out the veils, we can rest in a deep inner state of peace and harmony, because we will see that we already have security and sanctuary in the Master's love and grace. For that, of course, we are very grateful.
Anything to say
Reading
to that? Yeah.
reading that just reminds me, and I don't remember specifically all the details, but a dream that I had maybe 10 years ago, I don't know. And I'm on a bus, maybe in India, going to Mariband, but Mani is on the bus with me. And she comes over to sit with me, and she wants to make one clear point to me, that she said, "Your name is Grace." I said, "Huh? Your name is Grace." I said, "All right." And I woke up.
So Tony translates as grace, huh?
I don't know. You ask Monty if you want more specifics.
Yeah. Good.
Yes, Christina.
So I'm thinking about the definition of the word merit. And he's talking about grace versus merits. I mean, Jeff, or anyone, could you define merits for me, just so I'm clear about it?
Well, yeah, I mean that you have certain attainments or accomplishments. You've
Okay,
done well in the world. All of that
got it.
doesn't necessarily draw the grace,
Gotcha.
you know.
Okay. But not merits in the sense of, like, I don't know, doing good things in the world for other people. Not those types of merits. You
Yeah,
think
I
he's
mean, Baba
referring to?
says, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you do something for others, out of love, Baba
mhm,
says, he sees that and is pleased,
right.
you
Okay.
know. But you're not doing it for merit, you're doing it for love's sake, you might say.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. that
Yeah.
helps clarify it. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else to say to what Tony just read? It's hard to remember what it is.
Grace.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to maybe write something up about grace. I haven't ever really tried it, but because it's integral to this whole book, grace. But how to describe it. If you have any great quotes on grace, send them to me. Maybe I can put them together. But but it comes from the
grace,
other dimension into this dimension.
grace can be evoked. Grace can be evoked through a sincere heart that God feels.
Yeah.
Do you have something else, Christina?
Yeah, I was wondering, he mentions clearing out of the veils.
Mhm.
Do we know how many veils there are? Is it different for everyone? Were we ever given a sense? Are there like millions?
There
Trillions?
are well, I mean, just to simplify it, Prophet Muhammad said, "Between you and me, there are 49 veils. Between me and you, there are no veils."
Right. Right.
But there are certain, the different planes of consciousness are kind of veils.
Gotcha.
There's the gross veil, the subtle veil, the mental veils. But Bob's trying to dissolve our way through those things. Yeah.
Yes, I have something back in the reading. Darwin says we can rest in a deep inner state of peace and harmony because we will see that we already have security and sanctuary in the Master's love and grace. And for that, we're grateful. So we already have his arms around us.
Can you read that one more time?
We can rest in deep inner state of peace and harmony because we will see that we already have security and sanctuary in the Master's love and grace. And for that, of course, we are very grateful.
Yeah, it's not like the love in us grows. We're sitting on infinite love. And if we can drop back into that, as Darwin was able to, you've experienced that great peace and harmony within. If your consciousness can get out of the world of time and space into that dimension.
But doesn't it say in this that it's there for us, whether we're aware of it or not?
Yeah, it is there.
Okay. So we don't have to drop into anything. We're here. We're there, right?
Well, our consciousness isn't there yet.
It's not?
It can be there, fleeting moments of it, but to get abiding experience of it, that's what we're aiming for. I think I've quoted T.S. Eliot, "Do not cease from exploration, and the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we began and see it for the first time." So we'll get there.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
To Christina when she was talking about merit, and I thought she was also mentioning about our service to other people, doing good deeds and things for other people, merit, or does it count as merit? And I was just reading before this meeting a question asked of Baba, and it says the question is, how should one render service? And Baba says, one of the most difficult things to learn is to render service without fuss and without pride. In the world of spirituality, humility counts as much as utility.
I know. Incredible quote. Read that one again. Listen to this quote. It is very good.
One of the most difficult things to learn is to render service without fuss and without pride. In the world of spirituality, humility counts as much as utility.
Yeah. Sometimes it's translated as at least as much as utility. Yeah. Yeah. Looks like Arthur's on tap.
Arthur, yeah. Arthur?
I just like to comment, Baba says, God is everything, God does everything, God knows everything. So if he's doing everything, it's the merit and the credit and everything is just, it's all given to him. It's like you can't really take credit for anything, and you can't really take blame for anything either. I think that's the big secret of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's a real hard one to get rid of because we like to beat ourselves up and stuff. But if he's got to make you go through, the way I look at it, if he's got to make you go through an experience that you've got your heart set on, so you realize you don't want that really, you'll go through it, but it's still him doing it. It's like he sets you up and he knocks you down sometimes.
Yeah. No, excellent. Yeah, it's hard to, I remember Eric saying one time, is Baba doing everything? But if you take credit for any one thing, you do something that was really selfish or embarrassing or whatever, if you take credit for one, then the whole house of cards collapses.
Yeah.
And you have to start it all over again. Baba, you're the doer. Baba, you're the doer. Oh, darn it, I did that. Oh, shoot. You're caught. So it's very hard because Baba, the thing I found, it took me about 10 years to accept this, but where Baba says, when you do wrong, think it is Baba doing wrong. That was a very difficult thing for me.
I think Narina helps with that, Jeff, because
Go ahead. In what way?
Narina talks about when the avatar works with the bad unselfishly, it works to the good.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I've experienced it myself. When I am unselfish, like today, I was living on the street for 3 years helping people halfway around the world. It required so much money that I couldn't pay rent in Miami, and I refused to stop. So I was around a lot of people that were on the street, and I can recognize when someone's in a CVS and they're a thief. And I went up to this one black dude, and I put my arms around him, and I held his hand. And I said, "You're outed. I know what you're doing. And I'm holding this hand with love so it won't do something bad." And he returned so much love to me. It didn't necessarily stop him from being a thief, but it did bring love into the situation. And for that moment in time, it turned the bad to good.
Yeah, good.
Yes, Tony.
Yeah, just something else that came to mind. I think I heard this first from Dr. Kenmore, that when Baba uses the word grace, it has a very specific meaning, as that which, when bestowed, grants God realization. So that when you say, "Oh, by Baba's grace, I'll make it to this meeting on time" or something, no, that's not grace. Grace is, according to what he said, and as I understood it, is what bestows God realization. And the other thing I remember in terms of that is Erich talking about Zarzari Zarbaksh in the Valley of the Saints in Kuldabad, which they took us on a tour of once. And Baba said that he was a disciple. He got God realization from Sai Baba of Sherdi. But Zarzari Zarbaksh lived like 700 years ago, something like that. And they said, how is it possible that he got God realization from Sai Baba when he was so many years ago? And the answer was that at that time, as Sai Baba in that incarnation bestowed God realization on him, and it bore fruit 700 years later.
Yeah. But I think
I'm
it's the
sorry.
other way around. It's Zarbosh gave him a time release realization, so to speak, that didn't happen until 800 years later.
Yeah, I think I just got it. I think I just got it all wrong, actually.
Yeah, but
Zarthri Zarbaksh was Sai Baba of Sherdi. Sorry. And he was
no,
given God realization at that time, and it only bore fruit in this lifetime as Sai Baba.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a time release.
that's with
But
age.
anyway,
Okay, Robert, what you got,
Um,
Robert?
okay, I'd like to share. I found something on by Baba on Grace. I'd like to share it.
oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is grace? True worship is an expression of devotion, not just saying prayers and making supplications. For you to worship me truly, it is necessary for you to have my grace. What is grace? No bargaining whatsoever is possible in the receiving of grace. And there is absolutely no specific condition for its bestowal. It may be given freely to anyone, whether saint or sinner, intellectual or illiterate, man or woman. Grace is just grace, nothing more and nothing less. Although it is next to impossible, yet it is conceivable that one might become 100% prepared by one's own efforts and thereupon realize God. In such an improbable event, God realization is not through grace. But if the worst sinner stood before me and I had the whim, lahar, I could make him realize God in less than a flash of a second. That would be grace. At the very instant my grace descends upon you, you also become me and we become one. It is easier for me to come as an avatar than for you to receive my grace. The problem is that once you have been conditioned by duality, there is no end to the conditions which restrict your ability to receive my grace. Therefore, it is difficult for my grace to flow from me to you. That is why it is not as easy as it sounds for me to get the whim to cause you to receive my grace. As a matter of fact, it is flowing sufficiently all the time to fill one and all receptacles everywhere. There is rarely a vessel which is not filled with other things. A vessel must first be emptied before it can be filled by the flow of my grace. It is also my grace which helps to a vessel become completely emptied in the first place. The sun is now shining brilliantly outside this hall, but the sunlight does not reach you here under the roof. The sun is doing its duty by giving light. You have to also be doing your duty by removing whatever comes between you and the sun. Unless you break open the roof, how can you ask the sun to pour its light upon you? You have raised this roof of ignorance over your own self. Demolish it, and you will find that you yourself are the light and you yourself are the sun. There's about 6 more paragraphs here. I can read it if that's okay.
Hey, well, save that
Okay.
for next week,
Okay.
because I'm going to try to write up something on grace. But
Okay, I did put this in the chat.
And where did you, is that in Lord Maher or?
I just typed in Mayor Baba Grace. That's all I
Okay.
did. And AI came up with it. Yeah.
Great
That
quote.
was really
Beautiful.
good.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I think it may be in Listen Humanity. I think that's where I read.
You're absolutely right. I really just looked at the bottom of it and it says listen humanity. Thank
Oh,
you.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pages 50 to 52.
Yeah. So
Okay,
maybe I can incorporate some of that. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Bob, do you
Matt.
want us to read now, Jeff?
Yeah.
Bob, you want to read?
Yeah, sure.
I think Betty's going to put something up.
Stopping the veil making machine. In Meher Baba's omnipotence and care for humanity, his purpose is to raise the consciousness of everyone and everything in creation, and in particular of those who love him. So we have to be prepared to grow within his love. There is a biblical saying that, roughly paraphrased, says, "Unto whom much is given, much shall also be required." If we wish to draw closer to God, we must be prepared for further effacement and heart purification, an emptying of the heart of all our sanskar veils. This can be very extensive because it challenges the general paradigm that is accepted by everyone, the fundamental misconceptions that the illusory creation is based upon and the spiritual limitations we are brought up with. So, stopping the veil-making machine is not a matter of armchair theorizing. It is work that is up to us to do. Growing pains are involved as we work our way toward God. But if we finally get fed up with running around the reincarnation wheel time and again, we are going to expedite the process. Otherwise, if we just wait for freedom from the need to reincarnate to happen automatically, it could take ages. Even if we still want to come back and serve the avatar, we want to be able to provide a clear consciousness for his use. But we have to cease limiting ourselves. We have to stop thinking, oh, this can't happen. I won't have liberation for many, many lives. With God, all things are possible. He can actually do anything. Meher Baba as the avatar is the incarnation of divine love, and he is above all laws. Nothing can confine or limit divine love, and no law, no set pattern or precedent can restrict him. He is our best friend, and not only our best friend, but also our ally, working with each one of us. He has consummate understanding and insight into the sanskaras of each individual, and he really does work within us to expedite our freedom of consciousness. I feel that this is what is going on full strength now that he has dropped his physical body. So, as we work to sort out all this sanskaric determination that is impelling us to reincarnate, and we open ourselves to the Master's grace, he is right there with us, confirming and consolidating our, quote, previously acquired intuitions and perceptions, and precipitating our consciousness to higher and freer levels. These levels or layers of consciousness unfold in an orderly progression of 7 steps, from instinct to reason, then inspiration, intuition, insight, illumination, and finally God realization. In other words, these levels comprise the steps Baba takes us through as he confirms and consolidates the fruits of our efforts. Meher Baba means to liberate us, so let us not inhibit his work by saying, I can't do that now. I'm bound with all these things, and it's going to take ages to grow out of them. Let us not wait for 1,000 years more. It could happen at any time. I feel that we have to accept and believe in the highest possibility in this incarnation. We should not procrastinate, not put it off for another incarnation. The primary point is that we are spirit, and we need to become conscious of it. To do this, we have to stop the veil-making machine and dare to forge ahead to form a friendship with the Master within. This is something we can constantly work on. Otherwise, we prolong our suffering, which is what I believe incarnation really is.
Wow. Anything to say to that?
Yeah, the veil making machine, that's got to be the mind.
Yeah, it is the major criminal in that case. Someone at the center asked, kind of innocently in the meeting place here, asked Bao Kao Shuri when he's up on the stage, is there a devil? And Bao said, yes, the mind. But I just want to ask you, do you feel after all these years with Baba, most of you have been here been with Baba for many, many years, do you feel freer than you did many years ago?
Absolutely.
What do you say? I mean,
Absolutely. I do.
yeah,
I do.
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I mean, it's really going on. I mean, he's working on us. I mean, God, I was so hung up with all sorts of things, and boy, I'm much freer than I ever dreamed of being, you know. So it's, you know, you don't necessarily notice it on a day-to-day basis, but if you could kind of survey your life, you see how many things you've grown out of, how many hang-ups, how many misconceptions, everything. Let's see if anyone else, we got to get some of these other people in there, like there's Janet Jacobs, there's Deborah
Patty,
Lessing, there's
Patty's here.
Patty. Yeah. But I mean, oh wait, good. We got a couple of people. We got Diane and Terry up there. Uh-oh, we can't hear you.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Yeah.
I definitely resonated with being freer. Knowing that things are not in my hands, in my control. When I remember that, it totally frees me up. It also frees me up with expectations of other people when I realize that it's their stuff, not my stuff. And it's their thing with Baba, not my thing with Baba. It has really, really taken the wind, the negative wind out of my sail. If that's possible, which the negative wind was actually faring me the wrong way. So this is really, really good. So Jay Baba, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, I think many people could say exactly what you said, you know, about themselves. It's, I mean, incredible that, you know, you wake up and you have this enthusiasm to give it another day, you know, try to love more deeply, try to, you know, serve Baba all the more. Where the heck does that come from? It's there every morning. Like, I think of it as like a little kid wakes up and goes to the table and there's breakfast. His mother provides it. Well, we're being fed the inspiration from Baba to just keep at this. It's amazing. Now, I want to try to involve, Alan, I want to try to involve a few more people. Let's go on to the next um, chapter, Jay Seema.
Patty, do you feel like reading?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
Purifying Our Hearts, is that where we're
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Perfect.
Okay. Purifying. Blessed are the pure in the heart, for they shall see God. Through a refining process, we each are being fashioned into a temple on earth. And this process begins with identifying ourselves as timeless spirit and knowing that the truth of this can manifest in our lives. The inner path consists of stepping stones towards truth, and we move at the level of spirit. We move toward God, toward Mayor Baba, toward reality within by discarding the false, for we have to discard the false in order to experience the truth. As we move in the spirit and more light comes in, we experience upliftment, timelessness, and bliss. Instead of struggling with negative things, we accentuate the positive, love God more, and long for pure love and pure truth. The path also involves trying to find God within, trying to find the presence of God, to feel the divine love, divine grace, divine beauty within. The way to open to each one of us, and eventually every one of us, Baba says, will take that path. Do you want me to continue? Or should we comment?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Will we lose some of the points in that?
I know, yeah.
Yeah. Anything to say to that?
That word identifying, the word identifying used at the beginning is a really good word. You know, it says to identify with the spirit, don't identify with the negative mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing is, you know, if we can identify with our essence, our higher, better angels, and not the lower angels, so to speak. Have we got, let's see, anyone, I, darn it, I wish that, uh,
There's Janet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just came from, I should say, a week with my family at a retreat in which we were dealing with a family business. And I have to say, I still have work to do, Jeff.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys all sound like you've come a long ways. And sometimes I wonder about myself. I mean, there's always more. I mean, and it seems to, and the more open my heart is, the more vulnerable I am to experiencing my spirit getting involved in a way that doesn't particularly feel good to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you say not too near and not too far, Jeff, and I think about that. But one of the things that happened on this trip, I went to South Dakota, and there's this big motorcycle rally in the town near. Anyway, so on my flight home, it was filled with all these motorcycle people, these big guys and their chicks, and I had just read what you had, sent us about the more people you can put your heart into, identify with, then the bigger you are. So I tried that. And I have to say, there was some amount of success in that particular arena. Just really, I mean, I'm not a motorcycle person, and I'm not a motorcycle person's chick, and so it's I'm serious. This is how it is. I mean, it's like, and everybody has on a black t-shirt. That's just part of the garb, and but I did get into a deeper connection, perhaps you could say, with just the spirit level of people. But I love my family very much, and we're very close. But it isn't easy for me. I mean, there are things that happened that were painful for me, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm not humble enough. You were talking about humility, and I think I know I have work to do there. But I mean, it seems like the more I learn, Jeff, the more I see I have work to do. Is that, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just being real honest here.
yeah. If you read that new book by about Erich, written by
Okay.
Giovanna,
Yeah.
he says all of that. Well, Jim Frasino's here. I don't know if you were there when Erich said, now you're having the real Meribot experience, where he was getting hurt and, really mistreated by our worldly standards. I mean, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, as if you follow Erich, this is the real growth. Not that things work out harmoniously, and no one likes it. I mean, who likes the pain and everything and the hurt that people cause? But Erich was an advocate for that. I mean, because they experienced so much of it, but it awakened, and they grew through it. I mean, it's hard to accept it. Even my experience here, it has brought me to places that I didn't think I'd ever get to, not through the positive, but through the negative. coming from others. I mean, you may be blessed. I mean, Erich would say you are blessed. But
Well, I mean, it required me to accept an apology for my brother, who I feel very close to and love, who just crushed me.
no,
Accept an apology and watch how, I would definitely go on with him. But my open heart feels a little bit trepidatious
yeah,
compared to how it was before. So that's in there, and I'm just going to watch it. But I appreciate so much you're
yeah,
saying that, Jeff, because
yeah.
sometimes I listen to our Sunday nights and I think, okay, everybody is advancing very far beyond me. I don't even know why I do this anymore.
No, you're doing great. But it does force you. I mean, Bao Kaochura used to say sometimes it takes a nightmare to wake you up from a pleasant dream. And so we're always kind of seeking a pleasant dream, and these kinds of experiences, have to get on your knees before Baba. You know what I mean? Because it's too much on you. You can't deal with it yourself. You're forced to turn to him. And Mani used to quote this. She used to quote this regularly. I prayed to you for strength to carry out your work. You gave me weakness, so I would depend on you. So I used to be upset by these things, but these things now get me to remember Baba. These negative things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's any consolation.
No, that helps a lot. Thank you so much. It really does.
These things will make you think of Baba, and that's our aim. But Baba does say this, and I take this to heart. He who remembers God in his hour of happiness remembers God best. So I make sure I remember him when things are going well, because otherwise I may get the opposite. But anyway.
Yes, Candy. And then Patty.
I wanted to say to Janet that we all are going through that. At least I can speak for myself. And when I say that I've made progress over 50 years, I mean, what that means is I'm just starting to stick my head out of the mud. So, I mean, when I first came to Baba, I thought God realization was right around the corner. Seriously, I did. And it's only like 50 years later that now I start to see all my bad points, and they're all looming up at me. So I get to work on them. And that's a good thing. So at least I'm aware of them and I'm working on them. And that's when I say I've made progress, I for one, when like I go, yes, oh yes, I've made great progress. Well, that's what it means. It means that I'm finally now starting to deal with the things that I should have been dealing with a long time ago. And I'm starting to work on the things that need to be worked on. And anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that, so that you're not alone. That's all.
Patty?
Yeah, I'm just going to reiterate a little bit of what Jeff and Candy was saying too, is that seriously, Janet, I'm right there, 100% right there. I really don't even have words for how basically I'm brought to my knees pretty much every day with looking sincerely at what still is there. And I'm emotional for a lot of reasons that a few people know about, most people don't. But I mean, sometimes I just wonder, how did I ever get on this path? Seriously. Because the mind, which is where we are troubled with, is constantly saying all the negative things and all the things that one can imagine. And when I do drop to my heart and I open my heart, just lately, it's just been shattered constantly, honestly. And I had a great opportunity today. And just last night, I found out that a person I really cared about died a couple weeks ago. One of three that seemed to be leaving. But his wife found me in his phone, bless his heart, her heart. And he had cancer. I knew he had cancer, and we had the same oncologist, blah, 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 blah. But he was a man that came to me by happenstance, Baba's will and grace, I'll call it, out of a yellow page ad, because I needed somebody to trim a beautiful Japanese maple at my home that was really worthy of a really wonderful pruning. And he showed up. I called him, oh, I'm retired. He said, oh, I'll come out, you know. And so the reason I'm telling you this is I learned so much today about who he really was. And I've known him for 10 years, and I knew him only maybe on the phone call with his wife when his cancer got really seriously and we were both under treatment, and his went downhill very quickly, and obviously he died. And there was so much there in the moments with the sharings of what the spirit is alive in every being that comes in our path. And I recognized his spirit when he showed up, but I had no idea who his whole extended world. And it just touched me so deeply today. And it was hard to see him leave and all that kind of stuff. And we know that about all our friends who were leaving. But I could see the lessons he was giving by being, you know, an example, and such a profound example. And, you know, this guy, he was a hunter, he was an artist, he was a horticulturist, and that's how we came to know each other. And he was definitely, everything had to be perfect. And, you know, he drank lots and was big man and big gruff. But he treated all the animals that he took in. I mean, I heard all these stories, and he actually was a taxidermist too, that had all these stuffed things all in his home. And I saw all these pictures, but it just shows that we know nothing about who comes in our lives and why they're there. And for me anyway, and it makes you reflect so deeply when your heart opens. And my heart could not open in this situation today. And the grace was there to give me huge amount of insight and love, and how I have to keep opening up to those. I mean, this was somebody I cared about, but, you know, my sister left a couple, you know, I had to go to her memorial a few weeks back. And that was not easy, Janet, wherever you are on the screen. That was a real complicated one. But, you know, you just learn and you just learn and you just say, okay, Baba, you've got to help me. And I mean, that to me is the only answer right now, is just keep giving it back to him. You've got to help me get through this. You're giving it to me to help me to know you. And I want to know you. You know, we all want that experience so deeply, and the longing is there. So when the longing is there, he'll bring us, I think, to that place of needing him the most and turning towards him is all I can kind of share. That's what happens. So anyway, Jai Baba, everybody.
Yeah, beautiful, Patty. Now we're getting we've gone over the top here a little bit. So these last two characters.
Jim?
The Frisco
Character
Kid.
number 1, Jim.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll be very brief, I think. When I was listening to Janet's story there, about her brother particularly, and about the struggle she was feeling going through from that. And I had the thought, and it's something I think I might try to do myself. I've never tried to do it, but it sounds like could be a useful thing to try. Was I could imagine would be to imagine Baba before you, and imagine your brother standing next to Baba, and then bring them together and overlap, and let your brother dissolve into Baba, and the two of them unite, and what's left is Baba. And I think that's the reality. Actually, that is the reality. And in a sense, you're giving in that way you've transferred your brother to Baba, and now Baba and your brother are united inside of you. And so that I think there could be a freeing kind of experience. I haven't tried that myself, but I think it's something I might like to try. So yeah, it's just a thought.
Yeah, and a number of Baba people do that, a version of that, really.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Rich?
I've been listening all along. I wanted to say, I found it in general for me. I feel that I'm really all alone in the world, and I try to make friends. And there's people I like, people that have shown, a particular taste for my character, which means that I'm okay with them at any given time. And I have a few almost friendships. I'd stretch it maybe, but the bottom line is, no, I feel like this is a very lonely journey. It is not a social path. It is not a cult. It is not a religion. It's none of those things which we associate with the normalcy of a lot of other people that have views on this. So when it comes to Baba, the grace I look for is what you've all been alluding to, but and some speak of it. Baba, knock off the sharp corners. I know I need the sharp corners knocked off. It's just got to happen. And hopefully it's not too painful. But it's only through his, what you might call my version of his grace, that my heart gets touched and I'll start weeping or crying, like a dog. Or I was talking to a young girl today. She's 4.5 and she's just a little genius. And her mom's a friend of my renter. And this girl is just so smart. She knows her words upside down, inside out. But what happens with me, I've only met her a couple of times, but watching her is like, I see this human being starting to become a person, right? This little girl she's a person, but she's just starting to become this jivatma full blown, when she gets to 20 years old or adulthood. And so the only thing I can do in talking to her is try to enjoy who she is, because I can't do anything with her. What can I do? It's up to her to be her own person. I'm not her parent. But the point of that is that I'm still alone in that experience. I'm still alone. So all I have to do is I have to reference Baba. I have to ask Baba, okay, who am I in this situation? Blah, blah, blah. But that grace has really puzzled me. It really has. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll try to tackle that next week. The mystery of grace. Yeah.
I just want to say one thing really quickly, Jeff. I'm at the High Boston Hostel. There's amazing people here. A lot of college students from all over the world have just finished being in camp counselors in various states in America. And the last time I was here, there were kids that were so talented and so bright from North Carolina. And then there's just a lot of people, and I was just reaching out all day long. I must have connected with at least 50 people, and I used my intuition and my heart the whole time. It's, we have so much to share that's so rich, and when you share that love that we experienced, of course you're living it. So I would say to Rich, be creative when you're out in the world. Reach out to people. You won't be alone.
Yeah, good. You know, I liked Peter Solomasi would say, I'm an acquired taste. He said that to his boss. It was upset. It was thinking about firing him, that line, you know, so I'm an acquired taste, and it saved his job. Okay, so let's have anyone have usually Goer has some quote, and then we'll
Yes.
have a few moments of silence. Yeah,
Yeah, I have one for you for grace, Jeff.
yeah.
Baba says, faith is the fruit of one's devotion to me, whereas conviction is my gift of grace to you.
Ooh, wow. Now do that one again. Wow.
Faith is the fruit of one's devotion to me, whereas conviction is my gift of grace to you.
Beautiful. Adi used to say, conviction in darkness, meaning in this world, conviction in darkness is God realization in disguise.
Yes.
That's what Adi used to say.
Yeah.
Conviction in darkness, it is that great, you know, when you peel away everything, you're left with this conviction, and you've got it.
I would say, based on my experience today, the reality of love is love for love's sake alone. Unconditional love is its own evidence. It's a loop. It comes back to you. You put it out, it comes back to you. The more creative, the more intuitive, the more pure you are, the more powerful it comes back. Every single time my heart told me to go and talk to that person, I talked in the moment from my heart. I was as utterly creative and as inspired as I could, and it was received 100% every.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Let's have a few moments of silence, and then, yeah, then we'll
I was
have.
having a conversation with somebody, and at that point, he saw me get up and go and do that 4 times. And then it just heightened the value of that conversation.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's have a few moments of silence, and then Nasreen will set us free. Okay. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Okay, Nasreen.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you.
Nasreen's husband is about 93 years old, Mahmoud. Yeah.
94 actually.
Oh, 94. Wow. And he's right there. He's even still coming to the center. And
Yes, we are coming to the center in October.
oh, fantastic. Beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Well, any last minute comments? Otherwise, we'll. And Jim, Jay Thema, there was one fellow here, Elio, who really hit it, really connected with Meher, your son.
Okay.
And he really missed the time. He was this is the Yusahavas, and came from England, and he was not that emotional a kid. But at the end of the Yusahavas, you know, his mother found him. He was like crying all day.
Oh.
was so touched. It was the most beautiful experience of his life.
Oh.
You know, so Bob is so active here. Yeah. And Meher, he just had loved his times with Meher. That's
Oh.
Jay Seema's son. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he was his roommate. I'm in
Yeah.
Camden.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah, go
Jeff.
ahead, Christina. Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering, have you ever done the subject of obedience? You probably have. Where,
It'll come. I will come up with that. That's a good thing because
yeah.
that'll come up in the following chapters too.
Oh, great. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Obedience. Yeah. Yeah. Obedience and surrender. You know, devotion, obedience, and surrender are ascending order, you might say. Okay. Well, you guys have a nice week. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get in any trouble, you know. Try to don't try to be, you know, stay under the radar, above reproach and below the radar. Hey, Bob.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Bye-bye.
Beautiful.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Yay.